we'll get one step closer by moving on to the next topic.
Okay.
We talked about the running back market. Now let's talk about the quarterback market. All right?
Quarterbacks.
Justin Herbert just signed a massive extension.
Let's go.
5-year, 200 and what was it, like $60-70 million?
Something of that sort.
Crazy. He's now the number one highest paid quarterback in the NFL, which
rightfully so.
Let me put it this way, guys.
Rightfully so.
Before we get into any details, I said this when we first started this podcast, that Herbert's going to be that number one in the NFL when he signs his extension. Jalen Hurts is going to be, or Lamar Jackson is going to be, Joe Burrow is going to be whenever they all sign their extensions, and I was right. And I'm going to read off the order of like highest paid to least paid as it stands now, or just of the top few. Number one is Herbert, $52.5 million. Lamar is second with $52. Jalen Hurts, number 3, $51. Aaron Rodgers was with $50 million, but then he just took a cut. Russell Wilson with $48.5. Kyler Murray with $46.1. Deshaun Watson with $46, and then Mahomes at $45. And I said this a while ago as well. I said that since the day Mahomes signed his contract, and since and since the day everyone's bitched about it, and since the day every single person has come to regret bitching about it.
Oh, yeah. You good, bro?
Maybe.
All right, we'll cut that out. Actually, we'll leave it in.
We'll leave it
for
in
you guys, just so you guys can see him suffer. You good?
Just so you can see how passionate I am about this topic.
He's
signing Mahomes to a $450 million 10-year extension was fucking genius. I am giving a fat one of these to every single motherfucker. We were going to keep it family friendly. All right, well, that's not going to happen anymore. I just cost us that. Not cutting it either. Everyone who said that was a bad idea years ago is stupid, because I said, this is what I said. I was like, this is what starts the Chiefs dynasty, because in the short term, Mahomes can take up the highest number in the quarterback market, making the most money, because everyone else that's good on their team is still on rookie contracts and isn't having to be paid that much. And by the time they all are coming up on their extensions, they need contract signings, they need to make more money. The cap has gone up, and Mahomes is no longer a high-paid quarterback. And that's exactly what's happened. Now that we're coming into this year where guys like Chris Jones need to get extensions, Frank Clark got cut, but other players have gotten extended. I think that we talked about Frank Clark already, but I think that was a fine cut because they have another guy. But there's all these other guys that need extensions. Now Mahomes isn't a very high-paid quarterback. The fact that it's only been a couple of years since then and he's already the 8th highest in the league, and guys like Joe Burrow have still not gotten their extension, who's undeniably going to be number one. If Joe Burrow wasn't the number one highest-paid quarterback in the league, then everyone else is stupid. He might not. He might take a team-friendly deal like Mahomes. Herbert is not better than Burrow.
I have Herbert better than Burrow.
No, you're just trying to start shit, and it's not going to work.
I'm not trying to.
We're not there yet.
We're
not there yet. We're talking about the quarterback market. The quarterback market is just steadily increasing. Every time a top 10 quarterback gets an extension, they become the number one highest in the league. That's happened with the last 5 in a row. It happened with Hurts, happened with Lamar, happened with Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson when they got theirs a year and a half ago. It happened with Justin Herbert now. And Joey B, who hasn't gotten an extension, is going to be up there. And then in another 2 years, Trevor Lawrence is going to get another one, assuming he still plays well. He's going to be
Trevor Lawrence is going to have a monster.
He's going to be at 50. I think Burrow probably signs for $54 million a year, just $1.5 million more than Herbert. And I think that Trevor Lawrence 2 years from now will get about $50 million a year, maybe 55. Quarterback market's going to go up again. I don't think Mahomes is going to renegotiate his contract. I don't think he should. I don't think he wants to. I think he wants to win rings and become the greatest of all time. Because here's the thing.
He's knocking on the door right now.
He already is second greatest of all time. He's the second most accomplished quarterback of all time, and he is not even 30. He's not even halfway through his tenure as a quarterback. He's maybe a third of the way through
Mahomes is going to be.
Yeah, we've had that discussion before.
I'm glad we got to see it in our lifetime.
Me too, man. I'm so glad we get to see this decade's and the next decades, and the next decade after that's Tom Brady. I'm glad I'm youth for this.
Yes.
Young adult. It's great. But, and I was thinking about this the other day, with quarterbacks taking a team-friendly deal. Because there's the mindset of like, okay, I want to win rings versus I want to make money. I get both. I think you should be in it to win rings. But of course, I understand the wanting to make money if you're good. The Joker, notorious saying, if you're good at something, never do it for free. You should get paid versus the amount of value you provide. But the reason it is smart to take a team-friendly deal financially, because I'm not going to argue that it's better for your career, because obviously it is, you'll win more. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that people argue is that you make less money. That's not the case, because if you take the deal that Mahomes has where you're not the highest paid quarterback in the league, but but you win more Super Bowls and you become a more famous player. You have
all the side hustles and deals.
Exactly.
Dude. Oh,
you make so much more money.
Making mad guap.
You make so much more money with all the partnerships. Which I can't even rattle off all the things Mahomes has done, but he's done. I see every NFL commercial I see, like Bose, the headphone speakers, they've done several drinks, electronic products.
State Farm.
State Farm, yeah. Like you get
Do you know
paid.
how expensive State Farm premiums are, dude? They have to pay Mahomes, dude.
Like the gap between what Mahomes is making and Justin Herbert is making, Mahomes is making up plus some and all the brand deals he's doing. So you're still making more money in net, but you can't do that if you're not winning Super Bowls and becoming the best player in the NFL. If Justin Herbert had taken a $40 million a year deal, which, whatever, he wanted the money, I get it.
Yeah,
but if he'd taken $45 million and he goes and wins the Super Bowl this year, then he makes an extra $100 million a year doing partnerships, and he makes that money anyway. So that's why I've always been a fan of team-friendly deals as a quarterback.
Mention another thing about this. I know you like this. But like you said earlier, it leaves room for the team to invest in other players.
Other parts, that's exactly.
And keep the team healthy.
Exactly.
Because what a lot of teams are dealing with, one of the examples are the Bengals. You're losing your defense.
Yeah, they did. They lost a lot of defensive players this year. And that's why I think that we'll get into the AFC North later. I don't think the Bengals are going to be that hot this year.
I think it's Ravens or Steelers. No,
Steelers.
It's Browns.
Steelers.
It's Browns. We'll talk about this later.
Next week.
It's Browns.
We're doing AFC North next week. But it is Steelers.
Browns.
But yeah, I think that the team-friendly deal makes more sense because you win more, you have a notorious name, you're looked at by your teammates as a better guy because you're not taking money from them. Like, you look going to the... I mean, I don't think that really probably happens too much where you're getting pissed at someone for making a lot of money. But I'm sure the guys in Mahomes' locker room are like, he is such a good leader and he cares about his team so much that he's willing to take $30 million a year less than he's deserved just so we can also get paid and we can stick around with this championship team. So it builds a camaraderie in the locker room. You get a bigger name. You're going to become one of the greater ones of all time. You're going to have a bigger legacy. And you get more money from the marketing deals on the side. So Mahomes is a genius. I said it years ago. I said it last year. I said it when we were doing the podcast first started. And I'm saying it now. That was a genius decision by Mahomes, especially for the 10 years. Like, it was a lot of money at first. And then and I'll be honest, it was a lot quicker than I expected for him to fall out of the top 5 highest paid quarterbacks. I thought it was going to be at least 5 years in. And it's not, I think it's been 3 years into that contract.
I think everyone saw what Mahomes did and wanted to take advantage of it as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And then he's also guaranteed himself 10 years of money. And the total contract is worth more. Because, like, Herbert makes a lot more per year, but the total contract of Mahomes is twice as much.
Yeah.
Because it's $450 million, but it's for a lot more years, obviously. But still, like, you're still getting more money from your in net. It's just less per year, which, like, once again, that's another thing, you know. If Mahomes gets hurt and never plays the game again, then that sucks for the Chiefs that they just spent that much money on it. So it's risky in that sense. But assuming you keep him healthy, which they do a lot of work to keep him healthy, obviously spend a lot of money on that.
A lot of ice baths.
Yep, lots of good trainers and doctors in that locker room, but they keep them healthy, and that's why they are winning championships. So they've been to 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls. That's why they've won 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls. It's why they're AFC Championship game every single year. It is just nuts how other teams aren't thinking to do the same thing. I really don't get it. I understand wanting to be the highest paid, but I also think you have to understand you're not going to win a Super Bowl, most likely, or at least win more than one if you're doing that, just because the only 2 times where we've really seen dynasties in recent memory, obviously there's some in the 80s with like the Steelers and the Niners in the 90s and stuff like that, but recent is Tom Brady always took team-friendly deals, and now the Chiefs with Mahomes taking a team-friendly deal. It's one of the foundations of a dynasty is the quarterback taking a team-friendly deal.
Right.
So I don't understand why other teams, other quarterbacks don't see that and think maybe I'll do the same, but I digress.